What's up guys, and welcome to Should You Play Battlefield Hardline. Battlefield Hardline is of course very similar to Battlefield 4, it's kind of the next in the series while being a new series at the same time, and it focuses on a cops versus robbers sort of experience. Now, the deployment screen is pretty much the same as you are used to in Battlefield 4, and that is a theme that is kind of carried out throughout the game. We've got Operator, which is your assault, Mechanic, which is your engineer, Enforcer, which is your support, and then Professional, which is your sniper class. Game mode we're playing here is Blood Money, and it's pretty simple. You've got to get money from the central bag into your vault, or take it out of their vault and put it in yours. As soon as the team gets to 150 in their vault, then they will win. Or if the time runs out, then the team with the highest amount of money at the end of the game will win. Outside of that, we've got the same heist mode that you probably would have seen in the beta, as well as the Hotwire game mode that you also saw in the beta. And then there's a couple other modes, including the famous Conquest, and then a few others that unfortunately haven't had a chance to test because I haven't been able to find any servers. This review is based on a reviewer's copy, so an early copy that was given to me by EA. So do take that into mind. These are public servers though, so they should reflect the final product. There is actually no one in this helicopter anymore, so I probably should bail out. Let's go bail out. Yeah, so is this a game you should be worth playing? Well, the first thing is that it's not too dissimilar to what you saw in the beta. In fact, it's incredibly similar. The beta was only a few weeks ago, and so you can't expect a completely different game in the course of about 3 or 4 weeks. Having said that, they have changed a few things. Most notably, I would say, is the movement speed. At least I feel like they've changed the movement speed, because now, for some reason, you seem to move incredibly slowly. Not a fan of this, but maybe they will change it again. It just means that, you know, it's not quite. There's not quite so many fast-paced movement gunplay, but obviously there still is. So I don't really know why they changed the movement speed, but clearly they did it in the sense of balance. Now there are 9 maps as far as I can tell. You know, if it's wrong, I'll put that in the description, but I'm pretty sure there's 9 maps. The maps are pretty varied, and they all have the same sort of levolution effects. Well, pretty much all of them have same sort of levolution effects that you would have seen in Battlefield 4, so things like cranes falling down, bridges falling down, generally just maps changing dynamically throughout the game, but these happen as sort of big events rather than just slowly chipping away a building like you used to do back in Battlefield Bad Company 2. Now, the main thing here is that this game is different to Battlefield 4. There's a lot of people saying this is a Battlefield 4 clone. They're just trying to create a new game, pass it off of something else, but not really change much. And that's not true. You can tell Visceral have spent a lot of time trying to completely create a new game with the engine and the gameplay that they've already got. But of course, the problem with this is it is going to feel remarkably similar to the game that people have been playing for the last few years. I mean, Battlefield 3, I would say, is definitely a game that just completely redefined the Battlefield series. It took it a big step further. Battlefield 4, personally, I didn't feel like it had the same sort of effect that Battlefield 3 did. It was no doubt an improvement, but I would say that's definitely an evolution rather than an evolution. Now, this game, it's not an evolution and it's not a revolution at the same time. This is because they've taken bits, well, quite a lot of things from Battlefield 4, and then some of them they've improved where they need to improve, some of them they've taken out, and then some things they've just added completely new from scratch. So, unlike Battlefield 4, which is a really nicely refined experience that has been in the works for years and years, and there's been people learning the sort of things players like, this is going for something new. So I think you can tell that when you play it, because there are some things that work and some things that don't. Things like this mobile spawn ban that I'm using now. Whoever thought of that, it's a very good idea, and it means that you can move your spawn point where you want it to. If you get it too close, then obviously they'll destroy it, but not far enough, then you're not really going to get much of a benefit from. And there's loads of things like that throughout the game that have been carefully thought about and included in the game. And some of them work, some of them don't. One of the things I would say that definitely has changed for the better has been the sniping. I will change to the sniper class now and show you this. And I just feel that it's a bit more arcadey, sure, but I would say it definitely feels a lot nicer. The whole game, I would say, is almost like a mixture of Battlefield 4, Payday, and Call of Duty. Things have just kind of changed a little bit. depending on the class you are, you don't always get the same guns. So what I mean by that is, like, if you are a sniper like I am now, you will have a different pistol set than you would get if you were, say, an engineer. That just means that things are a little bit different and adds a little bit more variety, whereas in Battlefield 4, obviously classes have different main guns, but you could pretty much get all the same sidearms and things like that, whereas in this game that's not the case. Depending on whether you are the police or depending on whether you actually are the cops, you will have different weapons as well, but you can unlock what's known as gun licenses and battle packs. Battle packs are, of course, the things that you get as you unlock. You can buy them as well, and they're just packs that will have things like add-ons, weapon attachments, colours for your guns, things like that. And one of the things you can get in battle packs is actually these gun licenses that mean you can use all the gun, well, this particular gun, if you're a cop or a burglar or a robber. That's like the most awful way to say that. It's meant to be said like cops and robbers. If that's even worse. I just won't say that. The police or the criminals. How about that? If you're the police or the criminals, then you normally get different guns. But if you get a gun license, then you can use it, depending, no matter what your faction is. Still, an incredibly difficult way of saying that. I really should have said that better. I do apologise. Now, I do like this mode. Like I've said, this is Blood Money, and I would say it's pretty cool because you don't really get anything like that. Ugh! You don't really get anything like, yeah, that was always going to happen. That was terrible. You don't get a game mode like this in Battlefield 4, so it's nice to see some different things, and that's where the game is really good. Personally, I would say so anyway. The same with the heist mode, which hopefully you would have played in the open beta. That is one of the most fun game modes. Weird sort of slow motion glitch going on there. Not entirely sure what that was. That has happened a couple times. Not sure whether that's because I'm recording or the server issues, or I have no idea why. But that hasn't really been affecting me much. Weird. Very weird. But yeah, outside of that, there's quite a lot of positives to take from the game. The game looks and runs pretty similar to Battlefield 4 did. Obviously, it's running on the same engine. There haven't been too many bugs. I thought that was a shadow bug then I just realised that was my windscreen. You can shoot vehicles, all vehicles now, and do damage with guns, whereas before in Battlefield 4 you'd have armour plating, so your guns wouldn't do any damage and things like that. But you also don't get RPGs, you have to find them in cars and things like that. You can get a sort of launcher, like a grenade launcher, throughout the game as the engineer, well, what would be the engineer class. I always forget what it's called. But this isn't as powerful as an RPG, and it can't take out a car or anything unless it's a motorbike in one go. This is good because it means that it's nicely balanced, and it means that you don't have to be an engineer to actually take down cars and things like that. You'll find you get run over quite a lot by people driving around the map, and that's pretty fun. And it's just the game is at its best when it literally achieves everything it kind of sets out to do, which is create like almost like a film where it's like a police raid, and then the burglars and the robbers are trying to actually run away and escape with the money. That's when the game actually is at its best. Right, there's a guy there. We need to take him out. There's no chance of me doing that. He's in the mobile spawn unit. Oh no. Well, that's an armoured plated vehicle, and I don't think I can actually damage that with the gun. But you see here, here's one of the RPGs I was telling you about. You can find them throughout the map. You can go and pick them up, and then you can use them, but they've only got two actual rockets attached to them. So the balance is pretty good. The movement speed, like I say, I think does need to be upped a little bit, but the whole balance actually is pretty good. Shotguns maybe need to be made slightly more powerful. Assault rifles slightly less powerful, but there's a few balanced things here and there, and obviously they've got plenty of time to actually change that throughout the game. But let's talk a bit about value. You get quite a few different game. What happened there? I dropped my gun. Sounded really sad then. Yeah. I completely forgot where I was. Value. That's right. So if you're going to buy this game, obviously you want good value, you want something that's going to last you a long time, and you want something that is going to be different to what you've already got. Now, no doubt in the value section, you're going to get a lot of enjoyment out of this game. That's a given. There's plenty of game modes. Heist mode is brilliant. Conquest is as good as ever. And you're going to get, if you buy this game, even just because you've bought it and feel you need to, you're going to get a lot of time out of this game. It offers you good value for money in the sense that you can get a lot of time for your money. However, there's more to value than just that. Have you already got this game? Is Battlefield 4 essentially the same? Well, I've already touched on it, but no, this is definitely a different game to Battlefield 4. Just the way it feels, the gunplay, all of that sort of stuff feels very different. But the thing that's quite weird about it is that it everything looks like Battlefield 4. That's the thing that is getting people. That's why when you're watching a video, no doubt a video like this, you can understand why people are saying, well, it's just the same as Battlefield 4. Oh my god! Ah! Well, that didn't go to plan. You can see why people say it is Battlefield 4 because it looks pretty similar. It's the feeling that's very different, and that's something that's quite hard to capture in a video. And let me assure you by saying this does feel very different to Battlefield 4. It's not the same game, and if that's your worry, you know, don't worry about it. Having said that, £40 obviously is a lot of money for a game that is similar to one you probably already have, or one that you can buy for a lot less. Oh, look at that! Look at that! That wasn't really skills. That was just throwing a grenade and shooting, but did all right there. Right, is there a vehicle? Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! Let's move! Let's move! Haven't had any real problems on the servers aside from the fact that the cars still seem to do some funny things every now and then. It's not really a big deal, but sometimes like the cars will, especially when you're in third person, will kind of like shake slightly from left to right and things like that. It's not a deal breaker though. Yeah, so should you buy it? Well, this is actually one of the hardest decisions I think I've actually had to make, because it's really easy for me to say this. It's really easy for me, and this is true. It's very easy for me to say this. If you like Battlefield 4, then this is more of the same, except kind of in a different ways. New game modes. It's a different game, but the experience feels very similar to what you'd be used to, which hopefully is a good thing. But if you don't like Battlefield 4, then you probably won't like this game, because it is essentially the same themes. Well, maybe the same. This is the thing. It's just really difficult to describe whether it's worth playing or not. I mean, it's 100%. You know, the title of the video is, should you play it? You should definitely play it. That's not the question. The question is, should you pay the full amount of money for it? And that's where I'm having a little bit of a reservation about a solid recommendation. And this is actually where, for the first time, if I could give it a reviewer's score, which I suppose I can, then I think that would almost be easier, because it's around that sort of 7 out of 10 sort of mark. I mean, that's just a number I've thrown around, and you know, I don't do review scores because there's more to a game than just a number. But it's tricky. I mean, I'm having trouble recommending it, and that's just because it's a lot of money for an experience that is pretty similar. It's a lot of fun. I've definitely had a lot of fun playing it. I enjoy putting some loud music on, some gangster rap, and just having it on in the background, and then just playing this game and having a lot of fun with it. But at the same time, it's a lot of money for what it is. So, should you play it? Yes. Should you buy it? I can't really say. That's the whole point of this video, and I can't really do that. I'm having trouble recommending it at the full price. Obviously, if you can pick it up a bit later, if you're watching this video a bit later, then I would definitely recommend it. But if you're wondering whether you should play it at the full price, I think to be honest, it depends on how much you like Battlefield 4 and how much you're willing to pay for a game that is built on the same engine and has the same, the same mechanics really, with just a few slight tweaks. If this game was a bit cheaper, then it would be an easy recommendation. It would be, if this was almost like a standalone sort of DLC sort of price, then it would be so easy to recommend it, because you do get a lot of stuff for your money, and it's doing that. Oh, weird, I have no idea why it's doing that laggy thing. You get a lot of value for your money. You're going to be playing it for a long time, and the gameplay is great, but you could. I think here's the thing: you could have as much fun in Battlefield 4 as you could in this game. So if you want that same sort of fun but slightly different, by all means go for this game. If I had paid for it, That's the thing. If I had paid £40 for this game, I wouldn't say it was a brilliant purchase, but I certainly wouldn't regret my purchase. Certainly, if I'd paid £40 for this, I would not regret my purchase. But it's a hard one. It's a tricky one. It's not something that I would say you need to play. It's something that if you like Battlefield 4, you will enjoy playing. I think that's the best way of putting it. And that is kind of the wrap up of this video. I'm sorry if it's not the straightforward answer you wanted, because it's not a bad game. It's a good game, but it's a game that is very similar. I've said it's not Battlefield 4. It's not Battlefield 4, but at the same time, it's not this completely new game either. And because it's not a straight improvement of Battlefield 4, there's still some things in it that bug me. It's not like a sequel either. It's just a tricky one, I'm afraid. But yeah, anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope it has given you insight into what's going on in my head. I don't know what's going on in my head, so that's probably going to be a hard... Oh, look at that double kill. You do get the single player, of course, with this game as well, so that video will be coming a bit later on. Can't guarantee the exact date. Shouldn't be too long. Sunday there will be the AOC G-Sync 24-inch, 144Hz monitor review. Look forward to that. I don't want to spoil it, but let's just say if you're wondering whether it's good, it's good. But aside from that, there'll be plenty of casual plays, I'm sure, with this game featuring. So if you want to know more about the multiplayer of this game, then you can hold off a little bit more, and then you can see a bit more gameplay. But I have had the benefit of seeing other reviews as well, because of course I only got the review code of this on Tuesday. I got the benefit of seeing other reviewers' impressions as well, and I think everyone's kind of saying similar things, really, as you'd expect. It's a good game, but it's just very similar to this sort of experience you can already get. So if you want, that slightly different experience, then by all means go for it. So thank you so much for watching this video anyway. I hope it has been useful. Let me know in the comments section below what you think of the game, what you thought of this video. And yeah, for everything else, if you like PC's gaming technology, obviously subscribe to PC Centric for more videos like this. Give this video a like if you liked it, dislike it if you didn't think it was very useful to you at all. And yeah, for everything else, thank you for sticking with the channel. And I will see you in the next video.